Hi, today's little video is the black belt way of tying the belt. Now, very quickly I'm going to recap the way that we always teach students when they first arrive, and in fact it's the way that most students have their belts, but there is an extra way to make it a little bit smarter, which a lot of the black belts will have, and all the instructors will have it this way as well. Only slight difference, but it's a little bit harder to do this one, so I'm going to go through it step at a time. Let's start with how we tie the belt normally, as you probably, you should all know, but just in case, we keep it nice and flat against the band on the belt, and we take it smooth and flat around to the back. We let it crisscross at the back, and the most important bit then is crisscrossing at the front. The most important bit is getting the 3 layers. There's the inner layer, there's the layer on top, the second layer, and then the third layer or the layer on top is there, and you can see one sat on top of the other there. That's quite important. If it ends up down here, it's harder to tie. So 3 layers, one on top of the other there. The one that's over the top tucks under the whole thing, okay, so it comes under, right at the back of the belt, so it's against the uniform, over the top. Now we can let go, and you should find the length of the belt fairly equal there. Pull tight or pull to a comfortable level, and we simply tie a knot at the end of the belt. Make sure that's nice and tight. Parents, if you're tying a belt for a junior, just make sure that's really tight. They do come off in the lesson, particularly they're new. They're quite starched and stiff to start with, so it's worth hopefully getting those belts nice and tight so they don't come off and potentially create some kind of risk at the foot of the student there that they can slip. Let's now show you the black belt way, the instructor way. So what we do here is we, as before from the beginning, we get the ends of the belts the same, and the first bit is exactly the same. So what we do here is we put the middle of the belt where the belly button is, or the middle of the band on the uniform, and we keep it nice and smooth as it goes all the way back. Now here's the difference. This is the more complicated bit. What we're going to do here is I'm just going to get, with one hand, I'm going to make a loose loop. You can see that my hand can still slide across the belt there. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to turn back so you can see me, is I'm just going to push against the belt here to stop it from twisting. Okay, what we're going to do from here is we're going to allow the belt, or the hands, to very loosely bring the 2 ends of the belts back, and the hand that's still pressing here, just between the first finger and the thumb, will clip and hold the belt together. And I'm going to show you that one again, because this is the bit that normally students find the hardest, including black belts. So fold in half, halfway first, there it is, same as we always do, this bit's easy peasy. And when we get to the back here, create a loop with your hand. Make sure the hand, as I showed you before, is nice and loose. The belt can slide in between the fingers there. So make a loop with your hand. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to push the belt here to stop it from twisting here. So you watch this bit here. This bit's not going to move as I bring these 2 bits back to the front. You can see now I've got the 2 belts touching here, and I grip with the first finger and the thumb there. Okay, that's the first stage. Now, I can now take one end of the belt, or the left side of the belt in the left hand, the right side in the right hand, and we're going to place the shorter end against the belly button first, or against the middle of that band on the uniform. We're going to take the longer end, or larger end of the belt, right over the top, so it remains nice and flush all the way around. That means it lays on top of the other one, it doesn't cross over. The main difference is now you're not going to get that crisscross at the back. It looks much tidier, and again it goes all the way around nice and smooth until it comes back to here. And the good thing is I can let go of that bit. It's now locked in with the band on top. The belt goes over the top, just slightly past the bit that you've already done, and then we're going to simply do as we do with normal belt tying. It goes underneath, over the top. We pull it again so it's comfortable position, and we simply tie a knot. Now, what we're always aiming for with a martial arts belt, particularly at black belt level, is the ends of the belts are even. We haven't got an even belt there. You've taken the effort to tie the belt properly. This way also means that as a black belt, any text you have or any down bars you have on your belt show forward as well. You've got a nice knot there, nice and even. That sits nice and even to the side. And the most important bit is you've got a nice smooth belt all the way around, nothing's crisscrossing over, and it looks a lot smarter. So I'm going to show you that one more time because a lot of people have asked me about this belt tying. They often see the instructors do it this way and question how it's done, and it's not the easiest one to learn. It's not the quickest one to learn, which is why we don't teach beginners. So, ends of the belts together. From that position there, middle of the belt, middle of the belly button there on top of the band, nice and smooth, exactly as we've done before. Nice and loose with one hand, making a circle with the one hand. Hold the belt in front and let it smoothly come round to the front. And remember, we're just going to grip, the hand's already there, we're just going to grip with the first finger and thumb. Now we can place one end of the belt in one hand, one end of the belt in the other. The shortest end goes first. Place the longer end directly over the top. Now that you can let go of, that's going to hold. Nice and smooth, all the way around, lying nice and flat on top of the other band that's already there. When it reaches the part that's already there, just go slightly past that end of the belt, tuck under the whole thing as we normally do, same way as we do with the normal belts. Just make sure it's comfortable, pull it to a comfortable position, tie a knot, there, and again, nice and even, the knot is even, the ends of the belts are even, the belts come nice and evenly to the side and nice and smooth all the way around. There you go, how to tie a black belt rather than a beginner's belt. Thank you.